STD in the doctor's office. Here we are, once again.
Bring me the antibiotics.
You shouldn't use that much antibiotics.
Doesn't work.
That's how
We're resistant.
We're here. We're like STD. We're antibiotic resistant.
You know, we're like the new kind of strain of gonorrhea they have in Britain. The one that can't be treated with antibiotics.
Combat bred gonorrhea.
Combat troop gonorrhea. Special forces.
Oh, shit.
Right, we're gonna send you to the front. You know what to do. And of course, this madness is the Dead Red Herring podcast.
Yes.
You know, and weird segues.
Yes. And all that.
And all that, yes.
Weird segues, etc. Etc.
Where does the expression and all that jazz even come from?
And all that what?
All that jazz. And all that jazz. As the, and everything else.
Standard Christian in the 50s describing the black community?
I was about to say something, but I'm not gonna say it.
I'm just throwing speculations at the wall here.
Yeah. Well, speaking of jazz, see here, we've already gone off route, and we all haven't even discussed the subject of today. But jazz, when it came to Sweden, it was
all the hype.
How should I put this mildly?
You don't?
It was not very accepted. It was quite rejected to start with, because Swedes and Sweden have a tradition of being quite uptight and rejecting a lot of new things, sort of.
In the olden days, we used to reject foreign influence, so to speak.
Yes and no.
Yes and no.
But
it depended on the influence.
It depended a bit, but I mean, in a technological sense, we were quite keen on stuff.
Yes.
In a cultural sense, not as much. I mean, the whole. If you ever looked at the Japanese sort of showing emotion thing, how it's being frowned upon.
Yes.
That was Sweden earlier. Actually, my parents, they were born in the middle of the 40s. So, they're of the older generation. At that time, showing affection wasn't really
appropriate.
At least not showing it openly.
Yeah.
You need to do it in certain ways. It had to be more, I was about to say ritualistic, but not really. But it was about courtesy.
Contain yourself.
Yeah, sort of. And I mean, when the 60s came around, and
good old 360s.
Yeah, and things started to loosen up and everything, you know, the more free and open societies and everything. Old people were not really happy.
Not at all.
Yeah. So when the skirts started to go above the knee, yeah, imagine the outrage.
Absolutely reprehensible.
Exactly. And then you had the, well, in the 60s it was kind of late, but when jazz was all the hype.
Yes.
Then we're talking about the 30s, 40s, sort of.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. If you imagine all the kind of critique it had in the States.
Yeah.
Yeah, just imagine it here.
Fun.
Yeah. And, I mean, Sweden used to be quite a religious country. Really Bible-thumping, actually.
Yeah.
So, of course, we had our own sort of cultural revolution in the 60s, and it turned everything to shit in the other direction instead. So, yeah, it's all fun and games until the extremes come to town.
I mean, the left usually do that. They strain so hard to just run the other way that they just keep running and don't look towards the wall they're heading to.
Yeah, more or less.
Pretty much.
I mean, in one sense, I'm actually happy that they broke a lot of the old sort of restrictions and stuff.
Yeah.
But they have gone too far with it.
What have you against Motboken?
Well, that Motboken wasn't really the left.
No. I'm talking about the before.
You mean that? Okay.
Revolution.
Just as everyone knows, Motboken, it was a small booklet from our own Prohibition era. You were allowed to buy a minuscule amount of alcohol if you had this kind of book.
But the only kind of alcohol you were allowed to buy or inhibit was the kind of alcohol your, how do you say, economic class were allowed to have. For instance, a normal farmer or a normal worker who decided, oh, I want to buy a good old bourbon. In the shop, they basically said,
No. Before you go any further with this, good and bourbon does not go together.
Okay, give me something then.
A good whiskey.
Okay, a good whiskey.
A good scotch.
Yes, a good scotch, a good whiskey.
Lafroy 18.
All right.
That's a good one.
To get back to the
issue at hand.
Let's just say you're a normal worker, a low-income worker.
I am part of the proletariat.
Yes, exactly.
Blue collar.
You decide you want to buy a good old whiskey.
Yes.
According to Motboken, you're not allowed to do that because what will your class do with such a nice drink? I mean, you don't have the money to...
I'm gonna drink it?
No, not your class.
No.
I mean, it's basically for the guys with the bigger wallets. Nah. I don't care if you have the money to buy it.
No.
You're not allowed to buy it.
No. Can't do that.
So basically, your average worker could not just go out and buy a bottle of champagne.
No.
Even if they could afford it.
Yeah.
Afford it.
What about a Chardonnay?
No. Hell no. You're a disgusting worker.
But what about my brandy?
No!
Aww.
You're allowed cheap beer. Basically.
Pissvassel,
yeah. Cheap beer och brännvin.
Yeah.
The non-homebrew kind.
Yeah, of course. You weren't allowed to brew at home either.
Yeah.
Still can't do that. But brännvin, that is actually what we call pure alcohol.
Yeah.
Like vodka.
It's what the Yanks call moonshine, but some ingredient difference in this. I believe
grain.
Yeah, the Yanks with their moonshine use corn, I think.
Corn or potato.
Yes.
Potato.
But with potato, you get vodka.
Actually, we get vodka using grain.
Well, the Ruskies, you get vodka with potato.
Well, the Ruskies get vodka with more or less anything.
If
you give them enough time, you will have Russians make moonshine with rocks.
Give them a flame, some water, and the basic surroundings, and they will
find a way to make
vodka. But yes.
Yeah. But
as you can guess, Motboken was scrapped.
Yeah. But instead, they did still have their victory because we have
monopolized
the monopoly being in the hands of the state through something called Systembolaget, which is the only place where you're allowed to go and buy hard liquor.
Yeah.
Unless you go outside of the country and you can actually go to regular shops and buy it. But there is a strict amount of what you're allowed to import.
Yes.
Now, here's a thing for the people happy about the European Union. Since Sweden went into the European Union, the quota of or amount of alcohol you were allowed to import increased.
Oh dear.
Yeah. So as to be for some kind of European standard. Now, what has this led to? It has led to there being more or less regular tours with oftentimes going with a bus or a car and a trailer.
Yeah.
Going down to border shops, usually in Germany, or if you're more along the upper east coast of Sweden, you take a ferry, over to either Estonia or Finland.
Yep.
And you use the border or tax-free shop aboard the ship to buy your liquor. And then you take it home, unless you actually drink it all when you get it, which a lot of people do.
Especially on that ferry.
Yeah.
Dear Christ.
Oh, God. Taking the ferry between Helsingborg and Helsingør.
Yeah. Oh, boy.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, you buy a whole plate of beer and you have a fun time just sitting on the boat, going back and forth, drinking beer, not eating. Have a good evening. And then you eat a lot of chocolate, and on the train home you get sick, and then you wonder, what the fuck is this? I don't remember eating this. Am I gonna die?
And then you die.
No, then you go to sleep, you wake up, you're hungover, and you go get Chinese. That's what you do. So
oddly specific, but I get your point.
So, kids, remember, if you're gonna drink, make sure to eat and have water.
Eat. If we're gonna drink, eat charcuterie.
Lots of meat.
Meat and cheese. That's the fat
Protein and fat.
Yes.
And you want minerals.
Yes.
And make sure to get a lot of fluids because alcohol will drain you. Yeah. Just be preemptive. That's all I'm saying.
Or drink with moderation. I don't know.
But enough about alcohol. Let's go to some other detrimental shit.
Oh no, you go.
Yeah. I'm actually thinking a bit about Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking about, there are some trailers to look at.
Yes.
Or rather, we've been looking at some trailers. Two, to be specific.
Yes.
One is the Witcher trailer.
Yep.
And the second is the Cats trailer.
Yes.
Horrible stuff.
Yes.
Second, at least in the second one.
Yes. Let's start with Cats.
Yeah.
Cats is basically, now a movie is coming. Based upon the musical by Andrew Lloyd Webber.
Yeah.
Holy fuck nugget, it looks scary.
It's not as much scary as just really, really weird, sort of uncomfortable, and just bad.
I think it just looks... I mean, I've seen the musical on stage once. Interesting. It was interesting. Am I interested to see the movie? Not really. Do I think how they made the cats in the movie is very uncomfortable and uncanny and really scary? Yes.
Yeah, they're really uncanny.
Yeah, I mean, in the stage musical, you basically have your average spandex dance clothes.
As per usual on stage.
Yes, with the cat-like details such as tail, fur basically up on the shoulders and all that, and ears.
Yeah.
And makeup in the face that makes it look like a cat face.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yes, it's fair enough, I suppose. It's a stage show.
Yeah.
They basically have done this with effects now. Given them a cat face, a slender cat body, along with cat muscles and everything, tail and fur. It's in the
CGI.
Yeah, basically. But it's in the uncanny valley kind of effects, which makes it... I cannot stretch this enough. I found it oddly terrifying.
I just thought that it looked really, really bad. It looked like a low-quality CGI production.
I suppose. I mean, the effects you could see by themselves was kind of interesting, or sometimes well made, but along with the mo-capped faces and all that. Nah, I don't know.
It's just that if you actually look at it, what you'll see is the kind of, let's just say, westernized Nico-ish thing.
Oh dear.
Yeah. I mean, this is a furry fantasy. Straight up, furry fantasy. It needs to burn. Bring the Prometheum.
I am sure the original was not intended to be a furry fantasy, but it will attract Yeah, average
Yeah,
derangement.
I have nothing against the musical Cats in itself. It's
No.
just that this production, this movie, looks really, really bad and horrible, and I don't think there really was a need to make a movie version. They
Nah.
already had the fucking stage.
That's true.
But it goes in line with all of the others. I mean, you had Mamma Mia, you had Les Miserables, you had what else? West Side Story.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. That's actually they haven't made a new one, have they?
No, the old from the
In the 70s, I think.
yeah, it was one in the 70s, and but then they made a sort of modernization with the I don't remember.
Actually, I don't really care, but yeah.
It was
You had Grease. But the thing here is that these musicals are all with people.
yes.
Even Moulin Rouge. I mean,
Yes.
they're people. They're not fucking CGI furry people. God.
And speaking of Les Miserables, this the director of Cats it's the same director who made Les Miserables.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if he understood his mistake of making the singers live sing in the movie, because in Les Miserables I don't know what it's called, but in most musicals nowadays, you basically have your actors sitting in a studio room singing by themselves or in a group.
Uh-huh.
But in Les Miserables, they were acting out and singing at the same time, live singing into when they were acting.
So they shot the scenes,
Mm-hmm.
and you had the actors actually sing and perform while shooting the scene.
Yes, in most musicals, you basically is shooting the scene, having some sort of backtrack for them to hear,
so
and
they're
sort
like
of doing a loose singing,
yeah.
and then the actors, or if it is before, sitting in a studio recording
so
room.
they put a audio overlay on it.
Yes,
Okay.
they usually do that, but they didn't do that in this one, and some of the singing qualities really suffered for it, I think, because I'm a firm believer that Hugh Jackman can sing,
But
not that live, and I know that Russell Crowe can sing.
he's one hell of a musician.
Yes, but I don't think he was able to manage that so much singing live, because musical singers, real kind of stage musical singers, they rehearse so much to get this show night right, and they can sing loud and clear.
Well, they're on a stage. They are
must.
supposed to be heard all the way to the back.
Exactly. In a movie production,
yeah, well,
it would need to be in more controlled forms for them to sing.
Yeah.
So maybe, I don't know if he learned from the last time or they're gonna do it again. Let's just see, because I'm not a fan of live singing, in at least actors live sing. I think it needs
in movies.
In movies, yeah, exactly. It needs to be backplayed for overlay sound later. That is what I am a firm believer of.
Personally, I don't really have any preference, but then again, I don't really watch musicals. That's not really my thing. I can enjoy a musical, absolutely, but yeah, no, not really my thing. Musikalfjolla, as my cousin would say.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So
Cats.
That's basically Cats. Yeah, it's
singing furries.
It's an interesting take on the old musical.
Yeah, actually, here's a fun thing. Looking at this trailer and the quality, we actually had a. How should I explain this? In December, we usually have a sort of TV production counting down the days to Christmas.
Yep.
Like an Advents. I'm not sure how it's called in English, but Adventskalender.
Yes.
And so every day there's an episode. It's aimed toward children, so
Yeah.
I mean it's really basic stories and stuff like that.
Yes.
They used to be quite good when I was younger.
Yes.
Then somewhere along the way, they've just dropped the ball and produced shit.
Well, that's state television for you.
That is state television. But one of these productions actually was a classic child's story called Pelle Svanslös.
Yes.
It's about a cat that doesn't have a tail, and he lives in Uppsala, and he has his adventures there and stuff like that.
Yes.
So they made a sort of Christmas story based on this character, and they filmed it and had all the actors in real makeup and stage suits and attire.
Costumes and all that.
Yeah, it was pretty well produced.
Yes, it was.
It was well made. That series, made by the Swedish television, which means that it doesn't really have a big budget, had better quality all over than this CGI piece of shit.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Yeah. So yeah.
I will.
At this moment, I'm just waiting for the overall reactions to it.
I think it will really have mixed reactions.
Yeah. I mean, those who likes musicals, they might like it. Maybe. It depends on what their take on the CGI is. But because I think that the CGI is going to be the main point.
I think so.
Yeah. And
yeah.
Did you have anything else?
No, I mean, I was going to say, it's your average cabal of the British modern actors in this one. It's not, you can really see it's not a really American made.
Well, there are a lot of American names in it.
Well, it is a lot of British names.
It is a Hollywood production after all.
I suppose it is. But
I mean, you even have, what's her name, Rebel Wilson in it.
That is true.
Whatever the fuck she has to do in it. Except for being, wide and take up space.
I was going to say thick, but...
No.
In really, average is taking up space.
Yeah. But, I was about to, speaking of scrotums... Not sure how scrotums came into it, other than scrotum armors.
Why them taking up space? What?
Taking up space. Yeah.
Let's just start with. We have seen the new trailer for the Witcher series on Netflix.
Yeah.
Overall, I am interested.
The trailer looks nice. The trailer looks interesting.
Yes.
However,
there is one.
Now we come to the but here. This is the but.
Yes.
Netflix.
Yep.
It's. You can get excited. You can think that, oh shit, this looks nice. There might actually be something. Who's making it? Netflix. Oh shit.
Whoops. Whoopsie.
Yeah. No. We have had the whole incident of the scrotum armor. For those of you that don't know or don't remember, it was some leaked images from the set of the Witcher series. And there were people dressed in what was supposed to be suits of armor.
Yeah.
But it looked like scrotums.
Yeah, it was like a crumbled ball sack, really.
Yeah.
And when if I first saw it and they said, okay, this might be just... your average bad guy armor, and then I might not have thought so much of it because okay, fine, it's
bandits.
Yeah,
scrotum bandits.
Exactly. Oh god, the scrotum bandits. All right, fine. Okay, who is these guys? Nilfgaardians.
And for those who don't know about the Nilfgaardians,
Nilfgaardians are it's a race of people, a race of humans who are sort of. It's a mixture, I have read, between sort of Italians and Netherlands or Dutch people, a Dutch empire, because they are very imperialistic. They want to conquer. They are pretty much high culture and conquer.
Does that mean they're a race?
You tell me, but a kind of
It's a people.
a people,
It's a
culture. I lost words. Okay. Yeah. The race of black
Nicaraguans.
Nicaraguans.
Or Nigerians.
But
Nickelodeon.
Nickelodeons.
Nickelodeon.
Anyways, but these Nilfgaardians, they are basically want to conquer.
It's sort of a
Conquer the
high society in The Witcher.
Yes, imperialistic
World.
high society.
Yeah.
You can say that. I am going a lot with the source material from the games. I know the games are deviating from the books, and I know the series is deviating from the games. Yes.
The series is based more on the books.
Yes.
More or less only on the books. It really doesn't have anything to do with the games, as far as I know.
And I have no idea if Sapkowski imagined Nilfgaardians in that sense, but I am thinking, because in the games, Nilfgaardians have this black and gold, and it's really nice
suit of armor.
Yes, very. They have their rising sun symbol and all that. Very beautiful handcrafted suits of armor. Yes. So
no, I'm imagining they're from a factory, mass produced.
Yes.
I'm sorry. We're talking about a sort of medieval European setting.
I know, but
so it's like just the idea of having to say that they're handmade. It makes me kind of
for the morons out there.
Oh, you mean the Americans?
Yes.
No, sorry. Nope. I'll take that.
You know who you are. No, but yeah, but when you have those contrasted with the Scrotum armor, it's a weird creative freedom.
This is the Netflix production speaking.
Yes, it is. And like I said, I have no idea how Sapkowski wanted to imagine Nilfgaardians.
Mm-hmm.
But they are basically...
Well, they're supposed to be
Dutch, Italians, and all that.
I mean, only that is just one hell of a mix.
Mm-hmm.
Dutch, Italians, and this is more or less... From what I've gathered, at least, it's 1400s, maybe?
Yeah, it's pretty... Yeah, if we're gonna compare, I am imagining the world of Witcher is basically your average Bohemia in the mid-medieval, late...
Well, because here's what it gets a bit convoluted.
Yeah.
You're looking at the different timelines of cultural... how should I say? Cultural steps in Europe.
Yes.
You have what is called the medieval times.
Yep.
The medieval times are somewhere along maybe the year 1000 to around 1300s, sort of.
Yeah.
During the 1400s, you have the Renaissance in Italy.
Yeah.
The Italian Renaissance is what actually kicks off the whole Renaissance revolution, you could say, throughout the rest of Europe.
Yeah.
So moving up towards more of the Northern Europe, from around the year 1000 to somewhere around 1200, 1300, something, that is what we call the Viking Age here in the Nordics.
Yeah.
But in Central Europe, those were the feudal medieval times.
Yeah.
From the 1500s to the 1600s somewhere, you have the Central European Renaissance.
Yeah.
And then you have the 1700s, which is called the Age of Enlightenment. Not really sure where that kicked off or started, really. Could have been France, maybe Germany, could have been Italy. Not sure.
I'm guessing Central South Europe.
Maybe. Yeah. So just looking at The Witcher, if we're gonna go from the games, I would say it is somewhere in the 1300s, maybe. But some things in it reminds me more of a 1400s Northern Europe or Central Europe kind of, just pre-Renaissance.
Yeah.
With still having some things taken from the Italian Renaissance. So it's really convoluted. It's really hard to pinpoint.
it's hard, yeah, but it's basically your amalgamation of when you say medieval.
Mm-hmm.
If you say think of Europe and say medieval, or
Yeah,
knights and all that.
but it's not really that
No,
much
no, I
knights.
need.
That is
I
the
know
thing.
it's not correct, but it's what you think of.
Well, that's the thing. I don't.
No, well, in this case I really don't care what you think. It's basically what everyone else thinks.
Fuck you then. I don't. Fuck you and what other people think. They should read a fucking book.
Yeah, I know.
But yes, medieval Europe. That is usually your knights in shining armor and
Your feudal age.
Yeah,
basically.
exactly. So,
and it's basically what it's based upon.
Yeah. Well, it is based upon Polish.
Yeah.
Folklore and stuff like that.
Yes.
So it's more of a Eastern European perspective.
Yeah.
And as we all know, Eastern Europeans, they're their own kind. Their folklore is amazing. I fucking love that.
Yep, it is very rich.
And I met a whole lot of awesome people from Eastern Europe.
Mm-hmm.
But they have a way of having infighting that leads to fucking war.
They have a way of conflict that leads to genocide. I'm just leaving it at that.
Are you talking about the Armenians?
Oh.
Or are you talking about Srebrenica?
Both.
Okay.
Well, everything with the Armenians didn't happen, so.
All right.
Check your facts.
They say it didn't happen. Or rather, they say it wasn't a genocide. Yeah.
Why would you say that, Turkey? No reason.
Yeah.
No reason.
No, it had nothing to do with the Young Turks. No. But either way.
But I digress.
Yes, we digress.
Yes. So, yeah, you have this view of these Polish, Eastern European medieval times.
Yeah. But scrotum armor.
Yeah, I really can't wrap my head around that.
But let's just take real history and put it aside and look at The Witcher.
Yes,
world.
I mean, basically,
I mean,
it is fantasy we're talking about.
They have magic, I think, and monsters.
Most of all monsters.
Yes. So I think we can just, yeah.
Exactly. But when you look upon the description on when he wrote it, I suppose he took inspiration from somewhere.
Of course. I haven't read the books. I actually tried to read the first one, but it was a translation into Swedish, so it wasn't really that good. I think I had to make another try, but using a...
What's wrong with Häxmästaren?
Ugh. That's Tolkien.
Yeah, that's true.
So I'll need to pick it up again and try a English translation instead.
I think that would be best.
Yeah.
I am satisfying enough with the game, and I know it's deviating from the books, but since Sapkowski really deviated from the games.
Yeah, well,
or basically, he left it in their hands.
Yeah, he did. He didn't believe in the game, so, I mean...
Exactly. In one of our early episodes, we are talking about this conflict with Sapkowski and CD Projekt Red, so...
it's somewhere in the catalog.
We shall put link in the description or something. Anyways.
You mean I'll actually have to sit down and go back and look for the right episode?
I think I can find it.
I think I wrote it in the description.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But in the trailer, it looks kind of good. I mean, I was skeptical at first, but I'm certain that Henry Cavill can pull off a Geralt of Rivia.
He looks the part.
Yes,
he does.
I mean, when you first saw him, you was like, I don't know. It looks like a bad cosplay and all that, but then you can see him in action that, and yeah, I think it's.
At least from the short things we got in the trailer, it looks really good.
But I didn't see cat eyes on him.
Actually, I think there was one scene where he had the mutant eyes, but it wasn't.
He had the mutant eyes. It wasn't the cat eyes.
No,
but it was yellow.
Yeah.
So,
Or did it? Oh God, I gotta have to go back and watch it again. But
we need to check this frame by frame, I suppose.
Yeah, exactly.
But I am curious on how they will portray all the characters and how they will.
Yeah, it's really just too early to say anything about it at all, to be honest.
Exactly.
The only thing we can do is wait and see.
Exactly. You are learning well, young grasshopper.
I don't like it, but I have to wait and see.
Yes. Exactly.
I guess just when the first episode drops, I think we'll need to sit down, check it out,
See the first episode
and then just have a talk about it.
Yeah. So it will be the first episode reaction.
Yeah, like we did with
Stranger Things.
Stranger Things, exactly. Speaking of Stranger Things, not gonna go any deeper into it other than, do you think, based on what we've seen, that there will be another season?
I am certain of it.
Mm.
I am seriously certain of it. There are a lot of I'm not gonna say loose threads, but it's
open enough.
Yes, and there are some things we just need some answer to.
Yeah,
but yeah, I think there will be, actually. If we look at the popular demand, I would seriously assume it will become, just by popular demand.
But really, is there such a demand for it?
I
actually haven't seen much reaction at all to it.
I guess in the fan base, it's sort of
because that's one thing I've been thinking about, that I haven't seen really any reaction at all to the latest season. It's more like, oh, here's another season. Okay,
yeah, I suppose.
So and that sort of segues into just talking about Netflix and streaming services, because Netflix has made a major loss now. I'm not sure if it just was a quarterly report or whatever, but I know that the sum was something about 17 million loss in dollars. That is one hell of a sum of money.
That is one loss, yeah, I agree.
And that made me think of what is actually the future of streaming services. Because at this point, it's like everyone and his dog is going to have a streaming service.
Yes.
And sort of making their own content, have their own platform for their content. And it more or less just turns into, as a consumer, you need to pick and choose where you want to put your money, because having a subscription for everyone, that's not gonna be something you can, and that would be so hella expensive.
Yeah,
that you wouldn't be able to buy anything else. I mean, you'd spend all your money just on streaming services that might have one or two good things to see at one point.
Yeah.
So, are we gonna see a decline in streaming services? Is the market oversaturated? Do we wanna, like, what would we want to see, more or less? I mean, personally, I would like to go back to the whole form of streaming services that I have one platform that has the all of the gathered content of different creators available.
Yeah. I think there will be not really a decline in streaming service. I think it would actually be an increase in streaming services, just so people can have, just because people will have the opportunity to pick and choose. Some streaming services will decline or disappear, and some will have the right kind of content to carry on and survive.
Yeah, because I mean, here the deal right now is that since we're gonna have Netflix, HBO, there is Amazon, Hulu, Disney has their own now. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. And since they're all on the idea that they are gonna produce their own stuff and have it by themselves.
Yeah.
How long will it take before the services starts dropping? I mean, at some point, I want to see that they go back to some sort of
shared platform.
Shared platform, exactly.
Yeah. I don't think they will go back to shared platform in a while, because they are incapable of realizing their own mistake. But I think it all depends on what kind of content they are creating. I think that because some platforms, I think, will not have the creative process to create their own content in that pace so they can survive. So,
or quality, maybe.
Or quality, yes.
I mean, I think that is the biggest issue with Netflix at the moment.
Yeah.
They went from being a platform that provided you with a whole lot of different content.
Yeah.
To losing rights and scaling down and more or less just going with their own stuff.
Yeah.
Which has varied quite a lot in quality.
Yeah. And that is a huge sort of part or a huge cause why so many have just created their own streaming services, because it is this hissy fit that is copyrights and rights to series, because Disney, in its greedy little mouse hands, have realized that we can't have our Marvel IPs in Netflix, so we shall make our own so we can gather all our IPs. So it's basically a kindergarten where all the moms is basically...
There's a lot of basic here.
Basic. Where all the moms...
They grab their kids and...
They see some kids are fighting, so they all grab their kids and just sitting at their own little... Like, no, don't talk to my son or me ever again, basically.
Stay away from my baby!
Exactly. So they get just...
Yeah.
Collecting their children, just sitting and moping in their own little...
Yeah. It's like, you know, Johnny, you can't go play with Bobby because Bobby's mom is a bitch.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think that's the main reason why. And in the reason of how it will play out, I don't know. It depends a lot on the quality of the content they are creating, and like you said, if they can't keep up with their own deficiency, so to speak. Idiom, yeah. Yes, they will see a decline in quality, and that will see a decline in subscribers. But I don't think they will ever have I don't think they will go back into what they used to, because, like I said, they're incapable of realizing their mistake. Either out of principle or just plain stupidity.
Yeah, so I think that what we'll see is they will either produce well-made content or die.
Yeah. They have... out of hysteria, they have raised the speed on the treadmill they're running on.
They could make so much money.
We can make more money just by running a little bit faster. Oh, fuck! Plum.
But speaking of Disney...
Ah, shit.
Yeah, they're having a real bad time. Because their parks not really having enough guests right now.
It's really showing that some fans are just...
Some are fed up. And I'm not talking only about the Galaxy's Edge thing here. It's also, as I gather it, just overall, people are getting sick and tired of Disney.
I suppose. I mean, with their constant stunts they're pulling, it's...
I mean, in my opinion, Disney has really lost touch with what made them good. And instead, they're just going for the typical cash grab.
I think, yeah, exactly. They have lost touch of what made them good, but they have seen what made them good, and now they think they can capitalize off what made them good by releasing it again.
Yeah, we have the whole thing with The Little Mermaid right now. all of the live action versions of the Disney classics, I don't like them at all.
No.
I can enjoy the Disney classics from time to time with enough, space between it. I'm not really a Disney fan. But these whole...
With enough marijuana, we can enjoy some Disney movies.
Marijuana or booze or pick your poison, more or less. Bullet to the head, I've heard. but all the live action versions and all the goddamn virtue signaling coming out. Like there was something about whether Timon and Pumbaa actually was a gay couple, and I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Why are they sitting imagining a warthog
and a meerkat
fucking?
Yeah.
There are some sick individuals in Disney right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I am assuming if they are going around taking up that, getting this idea out there, because maybe they're a couple, then I'm sorry, I'm just gonna sit there and think that you are imagining those two having sex.
Yeah.
Because
And whatever happened to friendship? Whatever happened to the good brotherly friendship that used to be the standard? I mean,
fuck that, let's have anal sex.
yeah, sort of. I mean, we went from having the brotherly quest with Frodo and Samwise Gamgee
Yes.
to having some sort of Brokeback Mountain-esque fantasy deluxe on whatever character there is.
Mm-hmm.
Here's my view. Fuck that shit.
Political homosexuality.
Yeah. It's the virtue signaling.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all it is. It has nothing to do with the real issue.
No.
It is only to sort of slap a rainbow on the product and make sure that it's of the right
LGBTQ approved.
Yeah, it's of the right political color. Here, you progressives, give us your money.
Yeah.
We're good people. Look at us. No, you're horrible people. You don't care. You only want the cash.
Yeah. For my fan base, I am assuming are not gonna pay for so much.
No,
just
not really.
take a look at Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah.
If we're gonna go back to the whole Disney park, I mean, you have the fan base who are demanding and demanding and demanding. Are they gonna be there for the opening and spend money?
Fan base.
Yes, I know.
The big quotation marks.
Exactly. Oh boy, here we go gatekeeping again, but it's really necessary.
Yeah, fuck those people.
Yeah. Because these fans, they're not gonna pay up.
Nope. They just want to complain.
Yes.
And those that actually are willing to put their money where their mouth is, no, they're not welcome. So yeah, sure, we'll take our money elsewhere.
You just keep doing what
Actually,
you do.
I don't really care about what Disney does. The only thing I care about what Disney does is when it comes to the IPs I care about, like Star Wars and such.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, I don't give a flying fuck whatever they do.
Nah. For me, it was basically Disney existed. Then they bought Star Wars, and then they bought Marvel, and I'm just being roped into Disney's world once again. I mean, yes, I have enjoyed Disney's creations through the time. But then again, I'm not that interested in Disney anymore.
No.
And once again, I'm roped into them.
Yeah.
I'm roped into these people.
I mean, will this be another example of get woke, go broke?
In the long run, maybe.
It would be hilarious if Disney actually goes broke
because of this.
Yeah.
It will be fun, actually.
But speaking
it would be a little bit of memento mori.
Yeah.
For them.
But speaking of Marvel, San Diego Comic-Con has come and gone, I guess.
Comic-Con has come and gone.
But there was a panel for
Phase 4.
Phase 4 of MCU.
That's true.
And Kevin Feige standing on stage saying there will be, among other things, the Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
There will be blood.
There. Oh yes, Captain Marvel 2. Whatever the fuck you
because we demanded it, I suppose.
Someone demanded it at least.
He did.
Yeah, he wanted more cheese. And they've shown a timeline for coming releases and stuff like that. So so we're gonna have what?
Basically 5 Disney Plus creations. I don't know if that's gonna be movies or series. I am not sure.
Yeah, I have no idea at all. The first time I see it.
Because if we're in the series department, we're gonna have Loki. We're gonna have WandaVision. We're gonna have the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. We're gonna have Hawkeye. A what if?
Yeah, some sort of what if, whatever that is.
What if? Whatever that is.
And in the movies, there's gonna be a Doctor Strange. You're gonna have Black Widow. the Eternals,
Shang-Chi.
and Legend of the Ten Rings, or what it was.
Yes.
So I wonder, is it going to be the 10 Rings of Power?
I hope. At least I'm assuming because of the name and the insignia around the name. I'm assuming it's either the 10 Rings of Power or the Mandarins.
Yeah,
group.
because that is
that is the same. I know.
Yeah,
and
because that is the question. Will we actually see the real Mandarin now?
I think so. I think we might get one because Shang-Chi is a Chinese kung fu master secret agent. So I'm wrap around your head that one. Then because then I think we might get the Mandarin. And in Infinity War and Endgame, we saw that Ebony Maw, one of Thanos' chosen, he had these rings. He could control the element around him.
Yeah, exactly.
They disappeared. I don't know if they disappeared when he disappeared in. Yeah, a little bit of Endgame spoiler, but they went
right.
They went ashy kaboof, so to speak.
That's a nice expression. Ashy kaboof.
Write that down.
Boom! Boom! Insert explosion.
Explosion spell.
And I'm just thinking about the memes with the.
Yeah.
Right, there is actually a meme with that.
So,
yeah,
if the rings didn't disappear when he did, because I would assume that these are powerful rings, then we might get something along that line.
I actually think that's one hell of a crowbar, but sure. You're throwing it out there.
I'm puzzling together what I've seen on the screen and what it might be. So,
yeah, but also in Phase 4 we have Thor.
Yeah.
And if I've actually got this right, we're gonna have Femthor.
Yes, and it's a turn I was not prepared in.
I did not see this coming.
No, we're gonna have, like in the series, with Jane Foster.
Yeah.
And it will be with Natalie Portman. Natalie, I don't want to be in the Thor movies Portman.
That's gonna be interesting. Because for a short time, I was more or less convinced that it was gonna be Valkyrie that got the hammer.
I mean, she is in. She was appointed the leader of. Once again, Endgame spoilers, but
it's been out long enough.
Yep, it's been out long enough. She was appointed the leader of the remaining Asgardians and ruler of New Asgard on Earth. So,
yeah,
and there you have it.
Yeah. So, I'm gonna be completely honest here. I don't have any kind of interest in watching Phase 4, except for one thing that has piqued my interest.
It was an interesting reveal, yeah.
Yes. Blade.
Yes.
Is gonna be in Phase 4. I've been wanting to get Blade into the MCU since at least Phase 2.
Yeah.
So, and we're gonna have Mahershala Ali.
Yes. You got that right, Wansi.
Ray. And I think he is an amazing actor.
He did a hecking good job.
A fucking good job.
Fucking good job doing Cottonmouth in Luke Cage.
Yeah. And his role in Alita Battle Angel, I mean, they could have done so much more with that character. And I am convinced that Mahershala would have been amazing if he had been given more time and more lines, action, whatever. More screen time, yeah.
Yeah.
So I think he will do a great job as Blade.
Yeah.
But here's the but.
Here's the kicker.
I don't know who will be writing it. I don't know who will be directing it. So we might still end up with a woke fest that will just blow
something away.
Yeah.
We shall follow your careers with great interest.
Yeah.
Basically.
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 So, in my opinion, I mean, I think that even if Phase 4 goes well in the cinema,
Mm-hmm.
it will be the downfall of the MCU.
Maybe.
I think that a lot of people are going to lose interest. They might see the movies because that's what is out on cinema at the moment. It's like, oh, you're gonna go to the cinema? Yeah, sure. What's on? Well, we have this MCU movie. It's like, okay, sure, whatever.
Mm.
But I don't think it's gonna be the same buzz as it's been with the previous phases.
Mm.
I think just overall it's gonna be hard for the MCU to keep up the steam. So I'm thinking that we'll see the start of the fizzing out of the bubble.
Could be.
I don't think it's gonna be a big pop,
No, not
but
really.
I think it's gonna be like a balloon. You have it filled to the max, and you either have a small hole, or you just let go and it flies around making fart noises.
Either that or it could be like Gustav Holst Neptune. You have the silent choir, and the choir is slowly but surely walking out just to. No, basically, on the contrary, it's basically. No, it's not even screaming. It's very silently, slowly, and just slowly, and they walking out, and then nothing.
Just, just imagine a whole choir going, "No, fuck this, fuck this, fuck this shit, fuck that." Fuck, no,
I mean, I haven't listened to that piece. It's kind of quite beautiful, actually.
Yeah. Well, I've been listening to a lot of Holst now these couple of days.
Yeah.
I actually got into a small discussion with my fiance about Holst because I was playing Mars: The Bringer of War.
Oh yeah.
And she was like, "Wait, I know this. This is Star Wars, right?" And I'm like, "Nope, it's not. How? How is this not Star Wars?" Well, this is Gustav Holst, which was a major inspiration for John Williams.
Exactly.
So, yeah. And where did Holst get his inspiration?
Well,
it was a great war.
Yeah. A great war.
The Great War.
What's a great war on?
There was a great war at the time.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, yeah, at least that those are my thoughts about the MCU and its future. It'll take a lot to convince me that they've not lost it.
I agree. It's if they don't really come up with something groundbreakingly wow concept,
like, leaving politics out of it. Just saying.
You're acting too much, man. Yeah, that would make that should do it.
Yeah, that would actually do it. Go back to telling great stories, leave the politics out of it, and don't get offended for everything.
That goes for all of you, actually.
Yes.
Out there.
I'm looking at you. Yes, you. Stop being offended.
Exactly.
Take responsibility for your feelings. Apply logic.
Can't do that.
No,
don't know how.
Oh, I'm sorry. Can't do that. Applying logic. Bah!
Bah.
Is it just me, or am I getting sort of negative?
You've been that since day one, but
I think I have a positive influx from time to time.
Very negative on the pH scale.
Acidic.
Sourpuss.
Ooh, I'm just toxic.
But I'm positive on the pH scale. I am basic. Basically. I got it.
No, actually, you're alkaline. That's the translation. Okay, another Swedish lesson here. Acid in Swedish is syra.
Yes.
Alkaline in Swedish is basisk. Basisk could sort of sound like basic.
Yeah.
But it's not the same as being basic. Basisk is alkaline.
It's like Kiss. And kiss.
Yeah.
I'm gonna kiss you in the face.
No, don't do that. No. Explain to the class.
A kiss? Well,
we know what that is in English.
Yes. Mwah. And kiss.
In Swedish.
A P.
Yeah.
So when I say...
When someone says, let me kiss you on the mouth.
Jag ska kissa dig i ansiktet. Don't let them do that.
No. No. And if you want to have a sort of a sly insult, just go up to your nearest thought and call her an end.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Slut.
Oh, yeah.
End in Swedish is slut.
Yes.
S-L-U-T.
Yes.
Now you do the math.
So, slut station is something completely different in Sweden. It's not what you think, but you have to get off.
Yeah, and always respect the fart camera.
Fart hinder.
Fart camera?
I can basically make a character. I am Baron von Fartinder. Så ja, slut gott folk.
Point at the end.
Yes. Poke the slut.
Yeah. Okay, no, that's enough of that.
Yes.
I guess.
Oxygen deficiency.
Yeah. Woohoo. Maybe open a window. Or another window. Maybe just go outside. Into the sun. Enjoy it. But, yeah.
What's your thought about this?
Yeah. Hot! Hot! No, exactly. What do you think about this? About the MCU, about streaming services, scrotum armors, weird furry fantasies. I mean, do tell us. We'd like to know.
Yes.
Engage with us.
Talk to us!
And if you want more of our weird shenanigans, you can always find more of our stuff on YouTube.
Yes.
On Twitch.
Yes.
You can always find us on Twitter.
Yep.
The handle is at DRH Podcast. Excuse me.
Jeez.
And you can always send an email.
Yeah.
The address is dead.red.herring@gmail.com. And of course, you'll find all of our previous episodes of the podcast on. You can find it on Spotify, Stitcher. You can get it on our host provider, which is Red Circle, and iTunes. More or less any place you find podcasts.
Yeah.
Just search, you'll find it. Hopefully.
Yes.
If not, go to another platform and search.
We will be there. And if you're on YouTube, we will add a little bit of fun videos now and then. Let's Plays, among other things.
Yep.
We will add our streams that we do on Twitch.
Yes. Most of them, at least.
Yes, most of them.
Yeah. Well, now I need to get out of here.
We need food and oxygen.
That too.
Yes.
So yeah, fuck this.
Yeah.
Fuck!
The chips of the south, the dew of the mountain, and an inflatable milady.